Welcome into the Chiefs Report. I am your host, Harrison Graham. Minicamp is in the books, so we're going to hand out some winners and losers in just a few moments. Appreciate everybody for watching today. And now, got a bit of a break, at least the Chiefs do. We're still going to have videos almost every single day, but minicamp is done, wrapped up earlier today on Thursday. Team will be off for about 5 weeks or so, and then training camp will be here in late July, so that's kind of when things really kind of ramp up, especially for veteran teams like the Chiefs. You know, other teams obviously really value OTAs and minicamp, and not that the Chiefs don't, but once training camp gets here, I think that's really when we'll see things notch up at least a little bit. If you're ready for training camp, like this video because, hey, that's when football is really back, in my opinion, once training camp gets here, which it'll be here before you know it. Hit that thumbs up icon if you are fired up for Chiefs training camp. All right, 3 winners and losers from Chiefs minicamp. Let's start with Marquez Valdes-Scantling. Listen, he's really stood out up to this point. I think that's very, very clear, to the point where I've actually moved him up the depth chart. I've got him at wide receiver 2 right now. Now, let me be clear on this. 1 through 4 is still very much in flux. It's going to be kind of like positionless basketball. I think it'll be someone different every week, but I'll go Juju 1, MVS 2, Hardman 3, and Sky Moore 4. Both those guys been dealing with some minor hamstring situations, but MVS has really stood out. I mean, he's made a lot of plays. He had a really good OTA portion, had a good week again this week as well. It seems like him and Patrick Mahomes have been able to connect and get on the same page very, very quickly. That's a good sign for a receiver that I was skeptical about when they gave him his contract. That contract's looking a lot better, especially based on what the wide receiver market ended up looking like this offseason. Speaking of the quarterback, let's talk Patrick Mahomes, who had a strong minicamp. Well, not that you would expect him not to, right? I mean, he's obviously a vet at this point. He's been there. He's done that. But he seems locked in. He seems loose. He seems focused. I think he has a bit of a chip on his shoulder because Tyreek Hill is not on this team. And, you know, there's a few people out there that question if Mahomes, how this will look without him. And, by the way, we'll talk Tyreek Hill later on because Mahomes talked about that whole podcast situation, so stay tuned. But I think Mahomes is coming back. He's focused. He says he's in better shape right now than he was at this point last offseason. So he's been hitting the weight room, doing all those type of things, being a leader for this football team. How about this? Will Patrick Mahomes win his second MVP this year? Type Y for yes, type in for no. This will be the pinned comment on today's video. Will Patrick Mahomes be MVP of the NFL in 2022? Let's go to Willie Gay Jr., another winner here, as something I'm really taking note of is it seems like he's emerging as a vocal leader. He's talking more. He's meeting with the media more. Typically teams kind of hide players that aren't leaders with the media. They're not going to let those guys talk as much, but Willie Gay has talked multiple times this offseason, and I think he's ready to take that next step here in year number 3. Last year, took a step, played pretty well, but with Anthony Hitchens out of the fold now, him and Nick Bolton are expected to really be that dynamic 1-2 punch, and I think Willie Gay Jr. is going to take another step, could have a 100-tackle season, and continue to be that good coverage linebacker that he's shown he can be through the first couple of seasons. Excited to see what he and Bolton can do as a linebacker duo. Support the show, the Chiefs Report, both on YouTube and on Rumble. We're trying to get to 31,000 subscribers on YouTube, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. Also, we're almost at 3,000 followers over on Rumble. Go support us over there, rumble.com/ChiefsTV. If you've already supported on YouTube by subscribing, go to Rumble and follow us there. It's another way to support the show. If you're a fan of what we do, it's free. We don't charge you guys. Give us a follow on Rumble. Give us a sub on YouTube. All right, let's get to some minicamp losers for the Kansas City Chiefs. How about Mecole Hardman? And minicamp, OTAs, all this stuff. Winners and losers, take it all with a grain of salt. Pads aren't on. It doesn't mean a ton, but Mecole Hardman had a little hamstring issue in OTAs, came back, had some rust, reportedly had multiple drops during one of the practices this week, showed some frustration as well as he's kind of, looks a little rusty coming off the hammy. You never want to pull a hammy in the offseason because then, you're just falling behind with the offseason program. But this is a big year for Hardman. I think he understands that as he's, done good things through 3 seasons, but he's never really had that true big breakout, right? Like his rookie year really big explosive plays, over 20 yards a catch. Second year, similar production, but less explosive plays. Last year, I think it was his most complete season, but only 2 touchdowns. So, is this going to be that 900-yard year with 7, 8 touchdowns that we've been waiting for? I don't know. It's obviously going to be a big year for him. We'll see if he can live up to the lofty expectations that he got when he was drafted in the second round a couple of years ago. All right, Tyreek Hill, bit of a curveball because he's obviously not with the Chiefs anymore. And I'm not calling him directly like, oh, Tyreek Hill, he's a loser for dropping a podcast and, kind of coming after the Chiefs a little bit. But going after and saying, kind of talking a little bit negative about Mahomes and the Chiefs and, oh, Tua's a more accurate quarterback, this and that. Not that I don't expect him to support his new QB, but to the point where Mahomes even has to come out and say, look, I was surprised. I was caught off guard by what he says. I love Tyreek. We love Tyreek here. We still love Tyreek here. He's just not here anymore. I just think it's time to move on. It feels like the Chiefs are. Mahomes only addressed it because he was asked about it. But Tyreek's dropping a podcast, and even Mahomes actually threw a little shade back. He said, yeah, it's probably so we could get, that podcast up and rolling. And, hey, it probably was, right? You know how it is. Got to get those clicks. We know all about that. But I just think, okay, the trade's months ago. Everybody, we've gone through that post-breakup phase. Let's get back to football. I don't think Tyreek Hill should be worried about what the Chiefs are doing. I don't think the Chiefs need to worry about Tyreek Hill. It's time to cut the Band-Aid off, and let's move on into the 2022 season. Are you tired of the Tyreek Hill stuff? Because I am. Type me if you are. I wish him the best. Great player with the Chiefs. If he keeps it up, he'll go to the Hall of Fame one day. But I'm spamming me down below because I'm just kind of over it at this point. All right, one more guy, Luq Barcoo, the quarterback who reportedly had a good day, I believe, yesterday at Minicamp. But then he got released today, along with one other player. Charles Goldman had this tweet to kind of have the details. Barcoo waived. Also, Matthew Sexton tried out Aaron Rucker and then re-signed Chris Lammons, who was a good special teams player last year. So we'll see if he's able to capture a roster spot. So Barcoo, despite showing some good things in the offseason program, is now no longer with the Kansas City Chiefs as he has been released. So there you go. Winners and losers for Chiefs minicamp as OTAs in the books, minicamp in the books. Now everybody goes home for 4, 5, 6 weeks before training camp gets going in just about a month and a half. Appreciate everybody for watching today's show. For more videos, be sure to subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. We'll have you covered throughout the weekend as well. More videos to come here on this show. Until then, so long, and we'll see you soon here on the Chiefs Report.